Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1 Unit 4 review. Remember, you can use a calculator to show all of your work and to place all of your final answers on the given line. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the first part says to write the inequality represented on the graph. So we always know that the variable goes first. Is it shaded to the right or it's shaded to the left? Okay, shaded to the right. And is it open or closed? It's open, so that means it's just the is greater than symbol. So x is greater than -8. All right, number 2. Looking at number 2, when they shade between, we want the x in between the numbers. So the x goes in the middle, and then we have the -10 and the 6. These always point to the left no matter what. And -10, is it open or closed? It's open, and at the 6, it's closed. So if it's 6, I'm going to make that is less than or equal to. So our final answer is -10 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 6. Number 3 is when we have the or, when we have the two different inequalities, and we put them in order from least to greatest. So the first one, the x goes first. It's shaded to the left, so it points to the left. It's less than or equal to, because it's closed, -5. You have to have the word or there. X, it's a closed circle shaded to the right. 4. So x is less than or equal to -5, or x is greater than or equal to 4. All right, number 4 says to solve and graph each inequality. So I'm going to zoom in, so we're just looking at this. So we have to solve for x. To get the x by itself, the first thing we have to do is add 1 to both sides because we're following SADMAP, the order of operations. 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, now to get the variable by itself, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so all you do is flip the fraction. Those cancel. We're left with x, and you have 8 times -5/2. So if you're doing this in your calculator, you can see that's the last thing I typed in, 8 times parentheses -5/2, and we get -20. Now, the only thing I haven't written down yet is my inequality symbol, and that is because I'm multiplied by a negative, I have to flip the sign, okay? And that's the rule that we've talked about. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you flip the sign, okay? Every time. Okay, so now we're done. Our solution, x is greater than or equal to -20. So the next thing we have to do is graph it. We have to do 2 numbers higher and 2 numbers lower. And remember, when we're going to the right, we add 1. So it's -19 and -18. And when we go to the left, we subtract 1. And that's how we get those numbers. So now it's time to graph. Is it open or closed at -20? It's closed, and we shade to the right. All right, number 5. And if at any point, guys, you want to try one of these by yourself, go ahead and pause the video first. Okay, otherwise I'm going to go through each one of these. All right, number 5, we have to distribute. We get 12x minus 9 minus 1 is less than or equal to 14. you can combine your like terms, and you get 12x minus 10 is less than or equal to 14. Guys, from this point right here, you should be able to solve it. Like, pause the video, be done in 5 seconds. You should not have to listen to me right now to know what to do. You add the 12 or the 10 to both sides. And to get the x by itself, we have to divide by 12. And we get x is less than or equal to 2. So graphing that, 3, 4, 1, 0. Are we open or closed to 2? We are closed, and we shade to the left. All right, number 6. Once again, we have to distribute, and we just distribute on the left side, or the right side, I'm sorry. 2 times n is 2n. 2 times 3 is 6. Do we have any like terms? We do on the right side. So 6 minus 2n is less than 3n plus 6. Now, at this point, we want to move the smaller variable, okay? So I'm moving the negative 2 by doing the inverse, so I'm adding, and we get 6 is less than 5n plus 6. I'm subtracting the 6. And now I need to divide by 5. And I'm going to write my answer up here. I have 0 is less than n. Now, the only thing that's wrong with this is we always want our variable first. So I'm going to rewrite it. The n comes first, then the 0. My inequality symbol is pointing at the 0. I want to make sure it stays pointing at the 0. So we have n is greater than 0. Okay. Are we open or closed at 0? We are open, and the inequality tells us to shade to the right. All right, number 7. Number 7, we're going to draw the lines. And remember that we want to solve for y. To get the y by itself, we have to add 1, and we add 1 to all sides. Negative 7 plus 1 gives us negative 6, is less than or equal to 3y, which is less than or equal to 12. To get the y by itself, you need to divide all sides, and we're going to divide it by 3. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2, is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 4. You always want to double check to make sure those numbers are in order from least to greatest. And since they are, we can write that as our answer. Negative 2 is less than or equal to y, which is less than or equal to 4. Okay, so now when we're drawing our graph, there's 1, negative 1, there's 0, 1, 2, 3, and there's 4. Okay? So at negative 2, we're closed. At 4, we're closed. And this is an AND graph, so we shade everything in the middle. All right, one more on this side. Okay, with an OR graph, we're going to treat each one of these like it's its own individual problem, okay? So to solve, we're going to subtract 3 to both sides. Negative 2n is greater than 6. And to get the n by itself, we divide both sides by negative 2. 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. and we divided by negative, so we have to flip that sign. Okay, now on the right side, we're going to subtract the 1 first. Those cancel, we got negative 3n is less than or equal to negative 6. Divide both sides by a negative 3. And we get n. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. And we just, once again, we divided by negative, so we have to flip the sign. Now, before I write my solution to the right-hand side, are those in order from least to greatest? They are. So our solution is n is less than negative 3, or n is greater than or equal to 2. So we've got negative 3 here, there's negative 2, negative 1, there's 0, 1, and 2. At negative 3, we're open and we shade to the left. At 2, we're closed and we shade to the right. Alrighty, let's flip it over. Alright, so now we're graphing. A couple things we want to know. X is, when it's an x equals, is it going to be horizontal or vertical? Because this is a special case. Anytime it's an x, it's a vertical line. Okay? Now, is it going to be solid or dashed? This is going to be dashed because it's, when the line's underneath it, that's when it's solid. Okay? So, x equals negative 3, so at negative 3, 2, 3, that's where I'm going to put my point, and it's a vertical line. Okay? Don't forget to add your arrows. And now the only thing here is, do I shade to the right or to the left? Well, remember, Miss Carranza was saying that's the less sign, or that's the less than symbol. And remember that less means left, okay? So when we shade this, we're going to shade everything to the left. Now, another way that we could do this, if we had our test point, which was 0, 0, is 0 less than negative 3? No, it's not. And see how 0, 0 is right there? Did we shade that point in? Nope. So that's good. All right, number 10. So, things we need to know. We need to know our slope. Our slope is 2 over 3, and that is rising, okay? Our y-intercept is 0, negative 1. So the next couple questions we asked, is it solid or dashed? It's solid, okay? Because I'm just looking at the inequality symbol right now. And then do we shade above or below? It's the less than sign, so we shade below, okay? So let's go ahead and start graphing this. That negative 1 is my first point, and I go up 2 over 3. Up 2 over 3. Up 2 over 3. I'm making sure that this graph is rising from left to right, which it is. Okay. And then connect your line, make it nice and straight. Okay. We said to shade below, so I want to make sure that I shade below my line. Okay. There we go. All right, number 11. Yikes. It's not solved for us. So I'm just gonna rewrite it right here. We have 2x plus 5y is less than 15. And guys, remember, we want to solve for y. Okay, we want the y by itself. So we get 5y is less than negative 2x plus 15. We want to divide by 5. I'm dividing by a positive, guys, so nothing flips, nothing changes. If y is less than negative 2/5 x plus 3. Okay, so the thing I need to know is my slope is negative 2/5. Okay, it's falling. Got to remember that. Our y-intercept is 0, 3. Now, looking at our symbol right there, solid or dashed, it's going to be dashed. And do we shade above or below? Below, because it is less than. Okay? All right, so starting at 0, 3. My graph is falling, so I go down 2 over 5. Down 2 over 5. And I'm going to go in both directions, okay? All right, it's a dashed line. So make sure your points are that your line is dashed. And remember that you need the arrows, okay? The last thing to do is to shade, and we said that we have to shade below because our inequality was the is less than symbol. And there we go. All done. All right, number 12. Let's go ahead and solve. We have 4x minus 3y is less than or equal to 21. So once again, we have to solve for y because we want it in y equals mx plus b. Negative 4x plus 21. Now to solve for y, what do we need to divide by? I already wrote it. We're dividing by negative. Okay, so we have to flip that sign. So it's going to be greater than or equal to. Negative divided by negative is a positive 4/3 x. And 21 divided by negative 3 is negative 7. Okay, so now we can figure out that our slope is a positive 4/3. That's on the rise, so it's going to be a positive graph. Our y-intercept is 0, negative 7. Is it solid or dashed? It's solid, and it is greater than, which means we're going to shade above. Okay? So starting at negative 7 down here, it's where we begin. I'm going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the right 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's all that we can do. Go ahead and graph your line. And then the last thing to do is to shade, and we said right there that we have to shade above. Okay, so everything that's above your line. There we go. All right, I see this on a couple of people's papers where they go like that. Guys, you're not in kindergarten anymore, especially if you go like this. Okay, come on, you're in high school now. Let's do some high school quality work. Okay. All right, so now we have to figure it out on ourselves. So remember the things that I was writing down right here? what the slope is, the y-intercept, dashed or below. Those are the key things that we need. Okay? So taking a look at it, is it solid or dashed? Okay, it's dashed. Did we shade above or below? Above. Okay, so that tells me that we're using the is greater than symbol. Okay, now the next couple things we need to do is we need to find out what our slope is. So from any 2 points, we can count. We'll go 1, 2, 3. So I went up 3 over 4. Okay, that tells me that my slope is 3/4. Okay, the next thing I want to know is my y-intercept. My y-intercept is 0, 2. Okay, so the b equals 0, 2. It's a diagonal line, so there's going to be a y and an x. So we get y is greater than 3/4 x plus 2. Okay. All right. This is a special case because it's a vertical line. If it's a vertical line, it's going to have an x. Okay. But I still need to know, is it solid or dotted? Okay, it's a solid line. And did they shade to the left or to the right? They shaded to the left. And remember that left means less. Okay? So since left means less, I need to do the is less than, it's solid, or equal to. And now the last thing we need to do is look at what number that's at, and that's at -4. So x is less than or equal to -4. All right, guys, and that's the last one. So if you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. This is a review, so you know that your test's going to be coming up shortly. Okay, that's it for Algebra 1, Unit 4 review. Thanks for watching.